Hello.
Good
Hello and
morning.
welcome, dear friend. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good.
Good morning to
I'm
you.
well. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, same here. This is now Rimpage coming onto a bigger stage, the way I
Yes,
see it,
yes,
right?
yes.
So we have to start maybe by sharing about
Okay,
Rimpage. If you would tell us,
absolutely.
um, where did the vision become real for you? Where did it start? Let's go there.
Well, it started with an insight that came into my mind around 2009 is my earliest note of receiving these insights. And then they just kept coming over the months and years. And fortunately, I saved them when they came. And I
Mm,
just sort of put them aside somewhere and just started collecting them. Well, by around 2017, each of these notes was like a puzzle piece, and
mm,
each one all to get, allowed me to see exactly what Rimpage needed to be. So that was the
mm,
first part, and then it was further inspired by the experience my two brothers had in college, where they exhausted their eligibility and they got NBA agents and they got workouts and stuff, but they didn't get an NBA contract, and they ended
mhm.
up playing overseas. And I remember thinking, that's it? Like this dream we've had since we were children comes to
Right.
an end here, and the next best option is to go overseas. And I remember thinking there's got to be a better option for these guys.
Mm,
It wasn't just my brothers, but so many athletes all over America exhaust that college eligibility, and that dream comes to a screeching halt right there.
mhm.
And so I said, there needs to be another big stage. There needs to be another opportunity for these guys.
That happens all over the world, I have a feeling,
Yes.
because life wants to prepare us for our biggest dreams, and we get
Right.
into our adolescence and into our early adult years thinking I
Yes.
can conquer the world. And then something
Mm-hmm.
happens in that period between us
Mm-hmm.
going to, like you say, to college and us going to universities here, coming out of that. At the other end of that, our confidence is knocked.
Right.
We
Right.
realize we're not that prepared for life because
Yes.
there is some conditioning that happens in that time frame,
Mm-hmm.
and we are not going to go analyzing what goes wrong, but we are here
Right.
to fix that, right? We are
Right.
here to talk
Absolutely.
about empowerment, right? I want to
Absolutely.
focus on that word, and I want to focus also on unlimited capacity, right? Because your
Yes.
vision with unlimited capacity is
Right.
something that is very uncommon,
Mm.
something that is very unlike anything else that is out there. And that is translatable beyond the sport,
Right.
right?
Right.
But
Absolutely.
we're going to look at it through the lens of Rimpage, which is the lens of basketball.
Right.
So tell me a little bit more, because this is like the I see this episode here, the first
Hmm.
one, being as an introduction. So we can use this as an anchor, and when people want to find out finer detail and a little bit more about Rimpage,
Yes.
what do we mean exactly when we say the biggest
Hmm.
basketball league in the world,
Yes.
right?
I'm so glad
Tell
you asked
us
that
more.
question. And you refer to unlimited capacity because
Mm,
this really is something unprecedented.
mm,
Basketball was invented over 75 years ago. And from then to now, we've sort of been doing basketball a certain way. We form these teams and we form these leagues, and the teams have only so many roster spots on them. And after those spots are filled, there's no room for any other player. And we've sort of been carrying on in that model. Even the biggest stage in basketball now, the NBA, has that same model where
yes.
their capacity is limited. There are only so many roster spots. And that's the reason 3 out of 10,000 athletes are selected and the other 99% are turned away. Well, with Rimpage, we're doing something new. It's
Mm,
this league is open to anyone, male or female, ages 15 and up, anyone who
mm,
feels like they have something to offer to the world of basketball, who feels like they have something special that's
mm,
worthy of an audience. We invite them onto this stage.
mm,
So it's unlimited capacity. There's no limit to the number of players who can join Rimpage. We're
mhm.
looking at our first mark of 100 million athletes worldwide.
Yes. And Rimpage also empowers athletes in a way that no other league does. It prepares
Yes.
them for real life. It prepares them for life beyond. So
Yes.
what was the part of your vision there? How did you figure out that this is beyond the dream of becoming a professional athlete?
Hmm.
It
Right.
extends into the rest of one's life.
Well, one of the ways I express love is by sharing the truths that I've acquired. The truths that are like treasures, and I share them with the people I love. And I love my athletes. And
Mm,
so that translates into Rimpage, the spirit and soul of Rimpage. We
mm,
love our athletes. In
mm,
other words, Rimpage doesn't look at athletes like commodities that are to be used and then thrown away,
mhm,
accounting for that statistic that 2 years after they retire, a lot of them are bankrupt. Well,
mm,
that's a problem we want to solve. We want to take care of our athletes and teach them the
mhm,
business side of the sport so that they can leverage their athletic ability to create generational wealth for them and their families. And there's
mm,
a way to do that, Catherine.
mm,
We need only give some attention in that area and restructure the way we're doing things so that
mm,
everyone wins. That's what it
mm.
is. We want the players to win. And so we're all about serving our athletes rather than just using them.
Mm. See, that is where I see that difference between the big schools that we attended. They
Yeah.
didn't provide that kind of care.
Right,
I mean,
right,
the
right.
narrative was there, but the
Mhm.
actual delivery was missing. And we came
Right,
out of those schools, as I say, we should have been most prepared for life, yet we had um, more desire to go for our dreams after high school than after
right,
university.
right.
University
Mhm.
was like a big
And
question mark. You came into life not prepared. Sorry.
yes, and may I say this,
Mhm.
I think it comes from a scarcity mindset. Like if I give this to you, then that's less for me. But
Mm,
I don't see it that way. I think there's enough for all of us, for each and every
yes,
one of us.
yes.
Like Rimpage is a big stage. We're looking for the best player in every city, every state, every country. So
Mhm.
certainly there's going to be one champion, but still
Mhm.
there's enough fame and there's enough attention and there's enough reward for their ability for every single player who gets on this stage.
Yes, yes, and there is a lot that they can contribute and give. It isn't one
Mhm.
opportunity. Rimpage offers more than one opportunity to prove yourself because
Right.
life happens to all of us.
Yes.
Life
Yes.
delivers us certain challenges that
Mhm.
we need to dance with, right? There are some
Mhm.
challenges
Mhm.
that we can't dance around. We have to go through them in life.
Right.
And
Right.
athletes are no
May I?
different. Go ahead,
Mhm.
please. Yes,
I
every
wanted
time.
to share
Yeah,
something
go ahead.
that happened last night. So we have this one athlete who's competing
Mhm,
for the city of Fort Worth. His name is Nathaniel Johnson, and
mhm.
Nathaniel has not won a match yet. But Rimpage doesn't tell him you can't compete on this stage anymore. What
Mm,
we would rather see is Nathaniel keep coming and keep competing as often as he wants to, and then
mhm.
maybe looking at some of those other guys who are doing well and
Yes.
sort of comparing and say, okay, what can I be doing differently? And so
Mhm.
last night, Nathaniel probably had his best game of the season. And what was so nice is the other players were cheering for him.
Mm.
Like
Wow.
to be able to watch a player grow and develop over time is a wonderful thing, and they have that opportunity with Rimpage. Like we know that when you open up the stage to everyone, not everyone who gets on the stage is going to be the absolute best, but
Mhm.
what they do have is an opportunity to
Yes.
compete and to get better over time,
Mhm.
and they can actually climb their way to the top. That's
Mm.
going to be exciting. So we get to follow the stories of these athletes all over the world. It's going to
Mm.
be an amazing thing. It's amazing.
Truly amazing. I want you to tell us then about there's just so many questions that you opened up
Mhm.
just with that, sharing that story. I mean, it's amazing. It's already the spirit of a team, you know? You,
Mhm.
it's that feeling that you're not actually competing against that other player. You are competing for
Yes,
the version of
yes.
you from yesterday.
Yes, absolutely.
To be
Absolutely.
better you. And
Yeah.
I just love so many aspects that Rimpage brings. But I want to
Yes.
ask you now about the power of story, of personal story, and the name
Mhm.
Rimpage.
Mhm.
How did that come about? Because that
Okay.
is so fascinating.
I love this name, Rimpage. Like when it came to me, it just clicked immediately. That was the name. Nothing else compared or competed.
Yes.
So rim is a reference to basketball because of the
Mhm.
basketball rim. And
Mm,
then page is a reference to stories
mm,
because storybooks have pages. And originally, the very first idea I had for Rimpage was that it was just going to be a website for basketball players to sort of gather like a community where they could share their stories. And
mhm.
we're still doing that. We've just added the competition element to it where we're looking for the best in every city, state, and country. But that's what it is. It's stories about basketball.
Mm,
And that's what's so exciting, Katerina, is every player has a story, and we're
yes.
going to get to follow that story.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
and and these players will acquire fans who will be engaged in their stories, and then they get to do something that entertainment does for us, especially
Mm,
sports entertainment,
mm.
is it inspires us and it
Yes.
gives us something to believe in. And
Yes.
we're gonna see all of that on
Yes.
Rampage is bringing all of that to the world of basketball.
Wonderful ripples from this will go and inspire then hope in others to reach for their
Yeah.
dreams and to know that
Right.
they can
Right.
absolutely reach for the dreams. So again, it's stories of empowerment how I see it
Mhm.
because
And can I say
yeah,
too,
sure.
when an athlete signs up for Rimpage, what he's saying is, I'm going for it. This
Mm,
is my dream. The stage, the opportunity is here, and I'm going for it. Like
mm,
it's a wide open stage. You get on there, you show the world what you can do. It's a lot like YouTube, where you just
mm.
have to go for it. Just
Yes.
turn
Yeah.
on the camera, get in front of that camera, and put your content out there and improve over time. It's the exact same thing.
Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. So there's no thing, and I believe there's no thing in life like one chance, one opportunity,
Mhm.
because life
Mhm.
gives us many
Yes.
opportunities to
Yes.
prove
Yes.
ourselves and to reach for the best inside ourselves. I love
Yes.
how you have envisioned this, like it's beautiful. And don't ask me anymore if you can speak because this is also your stage here,
Thank you. Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
Love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then the other thing is they have this opportunity that it's wide open for them. Like
Mhm.
no one picks you. You have to pick yourself. And that's where the empowerment comes in,
Yes.
is you just have to decide. You
Mm-hmm.
it's like you have this dream. Maybe you've had this dream and then that dream was crushed. Maybe things didn't turn out the way you wanted them to.
Mm-hmm.
Like you kind of saw it, like I saw myself playing at Notre Dame University. I
Mm-hmm.
had the grades, I had the ability, but I didn't know the path. And
Right.
so it just remained a dream. And then high school came and went, and I wasn't at Notre Dame. And so there was that disappointment.
Right.
What we're encouraging athletes to do is dream again. It's a
Mm.
wide open opportunity for you.
Yes.
Have the courage to allow yourself to say, this is what I want, and then
Mm-hmm.
sign up, step on that stage and start competing.
Yes. Because it is beyond sport. You can improve
Mhm.
your life, and
Absolutely.
you can use. Excuse me. You can
Mhm.
use basketball. You can use Rimpage as your stage, as your vehicle, as your um, spiritual lens,
Mhm.
right? To grow into a
Absolutely.
fuller version of yourself. Because
Yes.
these are elements of spiritual growth that we are talking about. Dream,
Yes.
believe, and show up,
Yes.
be there,
Wow.
right?
Yes. Absolutely. Wow.
Mm. This is
Mm.
what empowerment entails. It
Mhm.
creates leaders in every
Mhm.
direction, and that is so significant also
Yeah.
about Rampage.
Yeah.
We
It's the spirit of I'm
go,
sorry. It's the spirit of I can.
yes.
And every person has their own set of circumstances.
Hmm.
And within that set of circumstances, you can have the spirit of I can, where you get up and you start moving towards the thing you want, or you're looking around maybe blaming others, or it's the spirit of I cannot. And
Mm,
that's a
mm,
shrinking type of feeling. But when
yes.
when you choose empowerment, then it's an expansion.
Yes.
And Katerina, there's nothing like living a life of purpose where you wake up in the morning and you know there's this thing that you're going after.
Mm,
It's a totally different kind of life.
yes. It has to be aligned with your own purpose. Once you align yourself with that path, there is no stopping you,
Yes.
truly.
Yes.
Because, like you said, whether you make videos on YouTube or whether you play basketball, your aim is to improve each and every
Hmm.
day because
Yes.
life will demand you to improve each and every day.
Hmm.
Life will
Yeah.
bring about circumstances, and it isn't, we cannot say good and bad life. We cannot compare
Right.
it like that. No life
Hmm.
is without a challenge. And if we,
Right.
we challenge ourselves, if we embrace that challenge and say, I was already born equipped to deal with these challenges, there is no limit to where I can reach. It's just a matter of decision, as you said. It's
Mhm.
a matter of me
Yes.
making a personal choice. This matters to me. It matters
Yes.
not what other people believe about us, it's what we believe about ourselves,
Mhm. And
right?
that's not to say that once you, in the moment you make that decision, life knocks at your door and hands you everything you'll ever need to
Hmm.
execute that decision. It doesn't work like that. And that's where the faith comes in. It unfolds before you. It's, and one way I love to put it is, and this is what helped me get to where I am now with Rimpage, is God always gives you what you need to take the next step.
Mm.
Maybe you want everything you need to take the next 100 steps so you can plan 5, 10 years into the future. That's not the way faith
No.
works. It's like, this is what you need to take the next step. Now take that step. And
Yes.
then once you take that step, what you need for the next step comes, and the next one. And it's this gradual unfolding.
Mm.
So you don't have to worry about, okay, I've made the decision. I'm choosing my dream. Now, where's my resources? It doesn't work like that. It's, there's something you can do. There's always something you can do right now to take
Yes.
that next step. And then once you take it, the next part unfolds. That's how the faith ties in with the dreaming.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's dreaming about one day I will be that doesn't get us there.
Hmm.
Translating that belief into becoming that person now in this moment.
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah.
choice that next version me, let's say 5 years from now, me would think? What is the decision that
Yeah.
person would make today?
That is
Because
a
you can only
powerful
make that
exercise.
decision today,
And
right?
then make it. And then
Right.
make that
And then
decision.
make it,
Oh,
and
that's
just take that
oh.
step. That is it. Um, Dear friends, I really hope that you are enjoying this conversation as much as we are clearly enjoying.
Absolutely. This is and empowerment is so exciting. Like I
Very,
told you, it's a different kind of
yes,
life.
that's
Life
it.
becomes exciting, life becomes fun.
Yes, and it isn't one book that you can read and become this. It is your
Mm-hmm.
life, and you are the author. You're holding the pen of your life. You are the
Yes,
one
yes,
who has it in
yes,
themselves to
yes,
go for your biggest dreams
yes,
and achieve them.
yes,
So
right.
this is why you see this, dear friends. You see this, that this is not a subject that we can cover just in one talk. That is why
Right.
we need a bigger stage, right? And we have
Hmm.
found the bigger stage right here. We want to
Yeah.
bring this kind of empowerment in this environment, right?
Hmm.
Because our athletes are going to be professional people, they're going to
Hmm.
be entrepreneurs of tomorrow, they're going to be leaders, they're going to be leading teams and creating new leaders. This is
Hmm.
what Rampage is creating, the future.
I would like to speak more on what you said about holding the
Go
pen
ahead.
because that's powerful. If people can get this, you'll never be a victim again if they can get this. So your life is like a storybook,
Mm.
except all the pages are empty. And every day things are being written. The story of your life is being written every day. And of course, other people have pens too. And they may come and scribble something ugly on your page, but you don't just stare at it and say, he scribbled something ugly on my page. Look, he scribbled something. Look. You're showing everyone what that person scribbled. And you forget that you're holding your own pen and you get to write what that ugly thing means. That's what it
Mm.
is. We get to decide what it means. We get to write the end of the story. You'll never be a victim again. When you realize that you're the one who's writing the story. So
Yes,
whatever life puts on your page, you get to say, and this is what it means, and this is how I won. It
exactly.
becomes that kind of story, the story of how you won. I
That is
love
the
that.
story of empowerment. You are
Yeah.
writing your own story, and we are
Hmm.
trying to make it fun because life
Hmm.
is fun. It isn't.
Yeah.
It's in all its seriousness. It isn't a solemn affair. It is
Right.
fun, and we have to keep reminding ourselves to find fun
Hmm.
in life, to fall back
Yeah.
in love
Yeah.
with our life.
Oh, I like that.
Only when we feel we have the power in our own life do we feel that we are having fun, right? If we give that
Yeah.
pen to
Yes.
someone else and people start writing all over our pages, we no longer have we have given them that power.
Right.
So all we need to do is remember that that power is within our
Hmm.
control. Just say, "This is my book, and I'm going to
Yes.
let you write
Yes.
in my book. I
Yes.
love you, but you're not allowed to write in my book.
Right.
I
Right.
have the
I
story
get to
in
do
my book."
that.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Mm,
That's amazing. That's when life is fun. When
mm,
we realize we're the ones holding the pen and we're unlimited. We can write absolutely anything we want. And who's
mm,
going to tell us that can't be? We can write
exactly.
anything we want.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Because we
exciting.
truly can. We are powerful beings
Mm-hmm.
beyond what we allow ourselves to realize sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
to remember, to recall, because
Hmm.
at one point in our life we felt free.
Yes.
At
Yes.
one point in our life we felt that we can
Yes.
reach for those dreams. So
Yes.
we just have to find that there was, recognize inside ourselves that there was this moment where we, for some reason, we accepted some limitation and then we
Mm-hmm.
started believing in it.
I,
So
I want to I want to
go
share
ahead.
something about that because this is so powerful. I
Mm,
was 7 years old. I was living in Anderson, Indiana, and I was in the kitchen on the floor playing with my Spider-Man toys.
mm,
Oh, and and keep in mind, this is a 7-year-old child. I was playing with my toys and I just stopped. And you know, Spider-Man, they're all about superpowers and stuff. And so I was kind of in that world anyway, where these people have extraordinary powers and they can do these extraordinary things. And I
mm,
just stopped playing and a question came to me and it was, keep in mind, I'm 7 years old thinking this. I said, what would it be like if I lived in a world where anything was possible?
mhm,
And the moment I heard that question, it's like something opened up to me and I could see that anything is possible.
mhm,
And all I remember about that is it's like I was transported to a space where everything was vast, everything was wide open, and absolutely anything was possible. And then it went away,
mhm.
7 years old. And from then to now, what life has been showing me is that anything is
It's
possible.
confirming
I
that.
do live in that world. I
Yeah.
do live in that world.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yes, yes, absolutely beautiful.
Mm.
Um, that is the story of empowerment. That is why you didn't stop when you were not scared. Maybe you held your breath when
Yes.
Rimpage idea, like when it hit you, when
Mhm.
the puzzle was complete, and
Yes.
there must have been a moment of thinking,
Yes.
"Can I actually bring this to life?"
Right.
Right?
Right.
But
When
there
the
is
vision
knowing. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
when the vision first came, I was just so full of excitement because
Mm,
I could see it all. I could
yes.
see it all. Like even now, I can see myself handing the trophy to that winner of the
Mm,
first Lions tournament, crowning that person the best player in the whole world.
mm-hmm.
Like for once in the whole history of basketball, we will know who is the undisputed best basketball player in the world. I
Mm.
see myself on that stage. I know what I'm wearing. In fact, I even have an idea who's going to win, which country is going to win, but I'll let that be a surprise.
Uh-huh.
But the whole vision unfolded before me, so it was in my head. It was only after I started executing and started running into these roadblocks and setbacks and things that sometimes I did feel that like how am I going to do this?
Mm,
But the
mm.
picture is there, and so it's already
Yes,
done.
that's
I just have to find my way. And
that.
what really helped me is what I shared all before. God always gives you what you need to take the next step. So there's never an excuse to just sit and wait and say, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. No, no, no. It's waiting for you to
Yes,
take that
it's
next
waiting
step.
for your cue. Yes, you need to direct where you are going because only you know. Life can
Hmm.
take you in many different directions, but only
Hmm.
you know which one is taking you to fulfilling your life's purpose and mission.
Yes,
Only
yes.
you know that, and don't accept it's impossible. You heard it here.
Right, right,
It's
right.
possible.
And something else that you encounter as you
Mm-hmm.
try to fulfill this dream is failures. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember I've always been afraid of failure because I was afraid of what it meant. And
Yes.
for some reason, I attached failure, the concept of failure to the attachment or the concept of an ending. But
Yes.
failure is not an ending.
Yes. No,
But so
that's
I
right.
remember it was around 2018 when I learned this lesson that propelled me forward. And
Mm-hmm.
it's no one's ever done what I'm trying to do here. There
Mm-hmm.
has never been a one-on-one, a global one-on-one basketball league. And
Uh-huh.
so there's no model, there's no pattern for me to follow. And so I remember thinking, okay, so there's no one to teach me this. I'm going to have to learn from my failures. And in every failure, there's a lesson. And if I can just learn, I remember thinking this, if I can just learn that lesson, I can move a step forward. And then
Yes.
the next failure will be another teacher and I can move a step forward. And what that did is that really empowered me to
Mm.
just throw off all constraint, all fear, and just go head on into
Yes.
this thing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Whatever comes, I'm either going to win or I'm going to learn. Whatever
Yes,
comes.
yes. Whatever it takes, you're going to keep on going because failure
Yes.
certainly doesn't mean the end. It is just
Hmm.
a step to success. It's a necessary
Hmm.
step. It's a course correction rather than
Right.
end, right? It's never
Right.
an end. There is no end to who you are. There's
Course
no end to
correcting.
where you can reach and go. And I
Right.
love what you have touched upon as well, that you translated fear. Um, accurately as excitement
Hmm.
because that
Hmm.
is what fear is there for. It is the
Wow.
energy. It is the energy that's meant to inspire you, to propel you, to invite you to want to
Wow.
go through that challenge, right? It's never meant to stop you, to scare you, unless you
Wow.
translate it like that. Um,
You
so,
you
yeah,
mentioned a quote before. When you change the way you look at things, the things you
the
look
things
at
will
change.
change. Yes,
If you
Dr.
can
Wayne Dyer.
turn fear
Mhm.
into excitement, same thing, same sensation, same
Yes,
experience.
yes,
But
yes.
just know that you're entering into something that's unknown, unfamiliar. And
Mhm.
isn't that where you want to go anyway? Aren't you tired of being where you are? Of course you want to go forward, but it is unknown. It's something you haven't had before. And so that excitement may come across as fear, but if you just change the way you look at it, then you
And
say, I
use it as an
want this.
empowerment. Yes, yes.
That's empowerment.
It can serve you
Empowerment.
as a fuel for that desire,
Mm,
for that
yeah,
part of your journey.
that
Beautiful.
is so wonderful.
But Patrick, we can go
Oh,
on, right?
yes. On and on.
Yes.
On and on.
We have to honor the time, and we are coming to that mark that we said we're going to share the
Okay.
story of Rimpage today for about 30 minutes. Next time we come
Mhm.
live, we're going to make it more concise. So we're going to talk more about empowerment in more empowering ways as well.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
going to
Yeah.
help deliver that message, and I think you demonstrate that message with your
Hmm.
example beautifully.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I would like to invite people today. We were not reading comments or considering your questions, but we very much appreciate your
Yes.
support. We
Yes.
very much appreciate you being there on this journey with us, and
Yes.
we would like to hear from you. So
Ooh.
we will come back and answer anything that you may have commented during
Yes.
this live.
Yes.
We appreciate you. And do you want more? Tell us. Do you want more of this? Because we can't get enough of this.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely yes.
Mhm.
That's my answer. Absolutely
Yes.
yes.
I think our answer is evident, but
Mm.
we want to invite everyone else to feel empowered by these conversations. We know that the players will be watching, the Rampage players will
Mhm.
be watching. We particularly want them to pay attention
Yes.
because
Yes.
we are here
Yes.
to empower them. And we also want to empower all of our friends. Entrepreneurs, artists, you are not on a different journey. You are on the
Right.
journey of fulfilling your dreams. And this is
Same
how
thing.
you can get there. You
Same
can take
thing.
a
I
page
love it.
from Rimpage's book.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it tremendously. And I hope
Awesome.
that we will inspire our friends to comment and give us what they want to hear more of.
Yes.
Until
Thank
next
you.
Monday.